Hey David, getting this video together for you on how to put one of these things together. I'm using my personal 1911 because I'm not at work and it takes four hands to do this. So I'll start with the slide just to get it out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and get your extractor. Put it in first, firing pin and spring, and then your firing pin stop. Usually use a punch for this, just makes it a little easier. And then I'll go ahead and take my barrel and bushing, put it in there. Take my guide rod assembly, set it in there, and just set it out of the way for now. I only removed one bushing so that way you can see how I put them in, because they don't require a lot of force. I'll just run it down by hand typically, and then snug it up with a screwdriver just a little. Alright, got my mainspring housing here with the spring and the two ends. I'll go ahead and put that together with a little pin. A lot of times it's handy if you use a punch, screwdriver, whatever. Put this together. And there's that. Typically, we'll go ahead and start with the trigger. And once you get in there, just make sure that it moves freely, doesn't get any snags or anything. Then got my mag release here. Using a pretty small head screwdriver, make sure it's sticking up just enough that it locks into place. And then I'll go ahead and get your sear and disconnector, and they go in together, and they basically just rest on the back of the trigger. And you just kind of line it up with the bottom of the trigger, make sure it's coming through the frame, and then a lot of times it doesn't match up exactly with the hole, so I just tap it a little bit and it kind of moves itself into place, and then put my pin in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw the hammer in there. Same thing, just line the hole up, get your pin, and there's that. Slide this up and out of the way, because if the trigger comes back you have to kind of mess with it to get to go back into place. You go ahead and take your spring, drop it in there, and you want to make sure that the spring is actually on the sear there. And then go ahead and push your mainspring housing into place, leaving enough room to get that in there. Take your grip safety, it'll slide into place, and then you can go ahead and kind of push that up into the rest of the way. Plunger spring assembly there, go ahead and slide it in. Take your thumb safety and just kind of put it into place. We'll come back to that. And then you want to take your pin that holds your mainspring housing in place. You'll need a hammer. Just knock it in there, and then you want to cock it and either use a small screwdriver or something to just pull that detent back, and there's your thumb safety. Then we'll just go ahead, grab this upper, make sure that the link is down. When you slide it into place, you'll just pull on the barrel enough that you can see the hole through the link. Go ahead and start your slide stop. Slide it back until that rear notch lines up, and then you don't want to give yourself an idiot scratch there, so just from the top down, just push it, locks right into place. Bring it into battery. I put the safety on, makes it easier to put the spring in, and then I'll go ahead and run the spring down with the cap on there. Get my nifty little tool from Maximus. Push that into place, man. And function test works fine. And then slap the grips on. Easy as pie, man.